Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are on the F-18 Hornet and we're going to be firing the Fox-1 Aim-7 Sparrow, and we're over Syria at nighttime. Since ED did such a nice job with the lighting conditions in this map, I thought it would be a great setting for this fight. We're doing the Fox-1 fights just because the dynamic is so different from a Fox-3 fight. Things get really spicy really quickly, the margins of error are minimal, and if you're not paying attention, you very quickly merge with your bandit and you find yourself in a bad situation. So just because of all those things, I think it'll be a really interesting video, and for the added challenge, it's going to be at nighttime. So let's go ahead and get started with the video, guys. Alright guys, so we're back with another Fox-1 fight. I'm really enjoying the Fox-1 stuff just because it's a completely different dynamic, and I'm really enjoying the night stuff. I think ED has done a really nice job with the lighting at night finally. I know they've been working on it for many months now, the lighting at night, and they've been tweaking it and stuff, and I think they finally got it right, and especially with the night vision, I think it looks beautiful. So we got a Fox-1 out on us here, and Fox-1 from us, and we're going to start diving a little bit, but I want to get a second missile off before I dump all of my altitude. So I'm just going to point my nose again, Fox-1, and now we're really going to start diving. These Fox-1 fights, they're really interesting just because you have to stay nose hot the entire time. You have to maintain a lock the whole time. It's not like the AMRAAMs. If you break lock, the missile goes stupid. So it kind of forces both aircraft into really tight corners, and then somebody ends up getting killed, and usually it's a few seconds difference between whose missile hits the other guy first. So we're cranking left here, and he's got another missile off. Oh, I broke the gimbal. I pushed outside the gimbal and I broke the lock there, so I'm going to try to lock him up again. Fox-1 again. Alright, he has one off too. This is going to be tight. Oh, I hit him. It looks like his missile went right by me. Smoked the ground over there. Yo, I think I dodged that missile by like milliseconds. My missile just hit him first, I think. So that's what I mean when I say these Fox-1 fights, you know, they get really tight really quickly. Especially if you have the same aircraft, the same missile, same range. So, good fight. Alright, so that last fight you saw that missile went right by me there. Really, really tight. I wouldn't consider myself an expert in the Fox-1 fight, but definitely I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit, and he's got a Fox-1 out on us. Just going to continue forward. But there's a lot of cranking, and you kind of got to know your missile. Look at how beautiful that missile is at night like that. That's what I'm talking about when I say they got the lighting right. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try to offset right a little bit, drag his missile to the right. Now we'll crank to the left. Fox-1 as we go through. Keep cranking left. And the closer we get, the harder we gotta crank, the more G's we gotta pull. I should really be maintaining the direction of the offset a little bit longer, and I got multiple Fox-1s in the air at this point. I'm just trying to saturate him so that he has too much to deal with. And it looks like he may be trying to do the same to me. And he's got a missile off right here. We're just going to out-crank that missile, hopefully. Stay nice and close to the ground. Come on. Come on. Oh, I swear that was going to hit me. It exploded. I think it exploded behind me. I thought it hit the ground. How did that missile not hit me, man? I hit him, though. Yo, I have no idea what happened there. That was insane. So I went back and I watched the replay for that last round, and you know, I'm sure you guys have seen the replay. I'll cut it in, but it looks like the missile hit right behind me and I almost outflew the explosion. I have no idea what happened there. You guys feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on that one, because I have no explanation for why I didn't hit him. So in this this next fight, I got a lot of altitude here. I've really pulled the nose up, and I'm just trying to give my missiles a little bit of extra range. At the end of the day, physics is physics. Thin air missile goes further. It should apply to the Fox-1 fight, the same as the Fox-3 or whatever. So Fox-1 here. Just again, that's a really long shot. Just maybe expecting, there it is. I was expecting his to come in. I love looking at that missile just fly in like that. Okay, so now I'm diving, getting tremendous amounts of speed and cranking the whole time. Another Fox-1 off there, just again trying to oversaturate him. Give him too much to deal with. Okay, I'm gonna crank the other way. Fox-1 again, so you can see every time I point my nose at him, I fire a missile off. And I think he dumped his altitude as well. Maintaining that gimbal. And we'll crank back in here. Another Fox-1. That's 4 missiles from me. Really, really close to the ground here. And yeah, I think I hit him. And his missile just missed me. Yeah. Man, there's a lot of like praying. Like you just see his missile coming and you hope it's got no track because he's already dead. So yeah, these Fox-1 fights, they get really intense. Like I've said, we've done a couple of these on the channel. He's got one missile out on me, Fox-1. I'll fire one too. Fox-1 offset right. Now you've seen a lot of these fights on the channel, and they do usually end up being quite intense. And even if one of you doesn't get killed with the Sparrows, very quickly you'll merge and it turns into a Fox-2 dogfight. So there's a lot to be said about a Fox-1 fight like this, and they're quite entertaining, I think. Fox-1 again, and we're cranking left this time, hoping to bleed his missile's energy. And just trying to maintain that gimbal. Really, the worst thing you can do in this kind of fight is lose that gimbal lock, push outside of the gimbal, and it's pretty much a death sentence if you make a mistake like that. And it does happen, but you got to try your best to always pay attention to that radar screen and make sure that you're maintaining that gimbal. I got it right on the edge there. I think I'm a little bit too far over, and I lost it. Great. So right when I'm telling you what you shouldn't do, I do that exact same thing. Now I got to turn in, and there's a missile coming from my face. Dude, I swear, every missile that hits me square in the face like Mach 2. And it gets a little annoying after a while, if I'm being honest. Constantly eating missiles to the face. Rarely do I get a chance to eject, I think. Alright, so here we are. We've climbed again. He's got a missile out already. Instantly locks and fires. So, obviously that missile, not a huge threat, but it just gives the other guy something to think about. And that's what he's trying to do here. I'm going to Fox-1 right here, just another second. Hold on. And Fox-1, that feels good. Start diving again. And once again, you can see we're offset to the right. And putting him on the gimbal limit of that radar screen. Really paying it. What the? Dude, I broke the lock again. I don't know what happened. I had him on the gimbal. I think I went over the vertical. I think I dove too hard there. Got him locked again. Fox-1. And we're really diving here. I gotta get really aggressive because I have a major disadvantage having lost that lock. I think it might connect. Holy shit, I think I hit him. That missile looks like it had no track. I'm pretty sure I hit him. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, that's a good kill. I thought I was dead for sure that time. I was waiting for another missile to hit me right in the face. I think he may have broke gimbal too and then got hit. So this is the third video that we've done with the night vision mod. Once again, if you want the mod, the link is in the video description. And I got a Fox-1 out on me. And so it's not a horribly difficult fight. I mean, it's the principles of, you know, the missile physics is the same. Fox-1 from me. Just trying to be a little bit more gentle and not break the gimbal every time, pay a little bit more attention. And the whole, like, you know, dragging missiles into denser air, all of that stuff obviously applies. The only concept that takes a little getting used to is the fact that you can't turn cold, and you really got to make sure that your missile hits him before his missile hits you. And in that sense, it's very different from a Fox 3 fight. And honestly, if your bandit has a Fox 3, you are at a major disadvantage in a Fox 1 fight. But anyway, so aggressively diving here. Got him. I broke the lock again. That's such a moron. That missile's gonna hit me for sure. Peace, guys. It's been nice. Alright guys, so we'll do a TAC view review here. We'll go ahead and fast forward it. So this is 18 miles out, and I am at Angels 20, and long shot is at Angels 18. So pretty much the same altitude. And right here we have Fox-1 from long shot. So he fires his. I keep pressing a little bit closer, and then I fire mine. A couple miles later I fire at 16, he fired at 18. And so you can see I start, you know, immediately diving. And so I'm diving because I want to drag his missile down into the denser air. And then I point my nose back up because I want to fire one more. And then this is about 11 miles out, and I start diving. This is where I really want to dump my my speed, but I still want to maintain that gimbal lock. And you can see long shot here. He actually maintained his altitude initially, came back around, fired one, and now he's dumping his speed. So actually his second missile is a better missile than my second missile. And the reason for that is because he actually maintained that altitude. So his missile is coming from slightly thinner air than mine. So definitely an advantage for him there. Alright, so these missiles are coming in. You can see Mach 1.2. 1.9, you can see my second missile Mach 1.6. also fired sooner than his second missile. And so the third missile, as I crank the missile out, and so this is what you're trying to do. Let me just turn these lines up a little bit. So you can see, we've talked about this in several videos, it is a cranking maneuver, and what you're trying to do is get these missiles to try to lead you, because as they lead you, they will lose energy, and then as they set up their lead, you want to crank the opposite way, and the missile has to turn again, and it just won't be able to hit you if you do that. Obviously, this technique works well until a certain range, and then at a certain range, like say you're here, that missile will be able to maneuver pretty much any way necessary to hit you. So you can't just crank indefinitely. At a certain range, you really do need to have killed your target. Okay, and so for anybody unaware, Fox-1s, which is what these are, they require data from the launch aircraft in order to score a kill. So if you can kill the launch aircraft, you save yourself no matter how close that missile may be to you. And so you can see my missiles actually come... Oh no, I thought they were... Actually, they're pretty close. See, look at that. Looks like they just kind of run out of energy at the end there. And so he takes that opportunity to recommit. This third missile that I fired is the one where I lost the gimbal, the lock, because I pushed outside of the gimbal. And so that missile is immediately stupid. And it looks like he actually did the exact same thing, which is really interesting. His third missile, he breaks the gimbal lock, or the lock, and pushes outside of the gimbal, and his missile goes stupid as well. And so at this point, I come back around. I use the helmet mounted sight to get the lock at 2.4 nautical miles, which is very impressive that a Sparrow can hit something that close. I honestly didn't think that it could. And so my missile's out. My missile actually goes out before his, maybe like fractions of seconds before. And you can see right here, so this is my missile out. And if you look at the clock up here, you'll be able to see it. It's 2.09 that mine comes off the rail, and you can see his comes off a second later. So it's a second difference here. And so my missile goes towards him, his comes towards me. And remember that getting a hit will neutralize the other missile. And boom, my missile hits. His actually doesn't track correctly, but it's because he pulls outside of the gimbal limit, and that missile's actually stupid right around here. But I don't blame him for doing that, because this missile came off the rail a second before his anyway, and if whether he had maintained the lock or not, that missile would have hit him first. So he actually tried to outcrank the missile, which gave him the best possible chance of possibly avoiding this missile. He would have died anyway if he had maintained gimbal for this missile. And so not a horrible decision on his part. The last thing I want to mention before we wrap the fight up here is you see me flaring out, and that is because I am anticipating a sneaky Fox-2 shot. I am not flaring against radar guided missiles. I am flaring preemptively in case he fires a Fox-2, which honestly I anticipated at that range. So alright, so guys, that's going to be the video for today. Big thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to follow Longshot's channel. Alright guys, take care. Bye.